So the respiratory system is how you breathe in and out. It's how you get rid of CO2 and how you bring oxygen in to your body, to your tissues. So it's not just like this weird phenomenon where oxygen is suddenly replaced with CO2. This is really weird because I'm putting up my right hand, but it's on the left side of the screen. It's throwing me off. So we're going to learn about the anatomy of it today. We'll learn about what each part does and how it works, but right now we're going to learn about the anatomy. And I have Stu with me today. I've named him Stu to kind of help me show you the different parts of the respiratory system. I'll also put up a diagram, one that you could copy or print out, because it's important to know where each of these parts are. So we'll start up at the top. So you have your nose and your mouth. That's how you breathe in, or breathe out. So that's how you bring in oxygen and release CO2. That is the actual physical mechanism of it. That is how you're literally getting rid of the CO2 and bringing in the O2. You have sinuses. They're in here, and they just kind of maintain pressure. We'll learn about what all they do, but you have sinuses here and sinuses here. They're just little tiny holes. So nose, mouth, sinuses. You have your trachea. Let's start with the pharynx. So you have your pharynx. Let's take his head off. Okay, sorry, Stu. So you have the pharynx. The pharynx is this first part up here. It's actually kind of partially in here as well. So you have coming down the back of the mouth. You have the pharynx, and then you have the larynx, which goes into part of this, and then you have the trachea, which goes down into here. So pharynx, larynx, trachea. The trachea then splits, so these are the lungs. You kind of already know what those are. The trachea then splits down here, so into the two, which are the bronchi, or bronchus. Bronchus is singular, bronchi is plural. So they split into the bronchi, and then bronchioles, which are like little, so you have trachea, bronchi, bronchioles. Go all over the place. And you remember when we did the dissection at Mosey, and you cut open the lungs and you saw those little tiny holes? Those are bronchioles. The bronchioles then split down here. They split into alveoli. At the very end, the alveoli are little tiny air sacs, and that's where the exchange actually happens. The actual switching of the oxygen for the CO2 happens. You have the lungs. This is a bisection of the lung, or coronal section of the lung. So outside the lung, inside the lung, and then underneath you have the diaphragm. So the diaphragm will be right there, and that's actually what causes breathing. It contracts, comes down, pulls the lungs down, brings air in, pushes up, pushes the lungs up, pushes air out. It's actually called a Herring-Brewer reflex, which we will get into. I'm going to put up a diagram. I will put it on canvas, and also put it in here, maybe in like the bottom corner, so you can follow along or draw it as I'm talking. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to. Oh, I almost forgot his heart. Don't hesitate to ask. So we're going to go over this in class tomorrow as well. We're going to be making diagrams, probably 3D diagrams of the respiratory system, and looking at some factors that might affect them. Rewatch the video if you need to, and look at the diagram.